I am Dr. Jesse John, Assistant Professor, Department of Anatomy, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are discussing back of thigh. And back of thigh, what is the extent of back of thigh? Upper part of the lower limb between the hip joint and knee joint is referred to as the thigh. A thigh is divided into three muscular compartments that is called anterior compartment, medial compartment, and posterior compartment. And we always consider the posterior compartment as back of thigh. Posterior compartment is separated from the anterior compartment by a lateral intramuscular septum, and there is no septum separating the posterior compartment from the medial compartment. And first, now we will discuss the cutaneous innervation. So there are the cutaneous innervation that are the posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh and cutaneous branches of the obturator nerve and medial branches of anterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh and branches of lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. Posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh provides the innervation of the skin of the posterior surface of the thighs and leg and the skin of the perineum also. So these are the innervation through the cutaneous supply of the perineum, thigh and leg. So we can see these posterior cutaneous nerve. We can see here all the nerves. Uh, these are the nerves from the sacral plexus. It arises partly from the dorsal divisions of the first and second, and from the ventral division of the second and third sacral nerves, and leaves the pelvis through the greater sciatic foramen below the piriformis muscles. It then descends beneath the gluteal maximum with the inferior gluteal artery and runs down the back of the thigh beneath the facial lata and over the long head of the biceps femoris to the back of the knee and pierces the deep fascia and accompanies the small spinous vein to about the middle of the back of the leg and terminal twigs communicating with the sural nerve. So we can see here all the uh, cutaneous innervation of the thigh. Now we discuss the content of the posterior compartment of the thigh. So there is are the muscles and nerves and arteries. First, we will see the muscles. These are the hamstring muscle and short head of the biceps femoris. And now is sciatic nerve and arteries will be arterial anastomosis on the back of the thigh. First, we will discuss the muscles on back of the thigh, that is the hamstring muscles, and hamstrings muscles are these are semi-tendinous muscles, semi-membranous, and biceps femoris fibers, the longer head of the biceps femoris here, and ischial head of the adductor magnus. And now we will discuss the characteristic features of the hamstring muscles. They arise from the ischial tuberosity and inserted into one of the bones of the leg. We can see here all these structures. These are hamstring muscles, and they uh, arise the ischial tuberosity. Now they insert here the bones of the leg, and they are flexure of knees because they are around. They surround the knees also, so they are flexure of the knees and extensor of the hip joint, and they are supplied by the tibial part of the sciatic nerve. So we can see here we can see here the ischial tuberosity from where it originated. So the muscle originated from the ischial tuberosity here. And now we will discuss the muscle, all the hamstring muscles, the origin, insertion, and now supply also. And biceps femoris. Attachment, we will see the long head originates from the ischial tuberosity of the pelvis. The short head originates from the linea aspera on posterior surface of the femur. Together, the heads form a tendon which insert into the head of the fibula. What will be the action? Main action is a flexion at the knee and extend the thigh at the hip and laterally rotates at the hip and knee. Innervation. What will be now supply here? The long head supplied by the tibial part of the sciatic nerve, whereas the short head is supplied by the common fibular part of the sciatic nerve. Now we will discuss the semitendinous. Semitendinous is largely tendinous muscles and it lies medial to the biceps femoris and covers the majority of the semimembranous. What will be the attachment here? It originates from the ischial tuberosity of the pelvis and attaches to the medial surface of the tibia. And action here, flexion of the leg at the knee joint, extension of the thigh at the hip. Medially, it rotates the thigh at the hip joint and the leg at the knee joint. And now supply by the tibial part of the sciatic nerve. Semimembranous muscles is flattened and broad muscle. It is located underneath the semitendinous and it is originated from the ischial tuberosity but does so more superiorly than the semitendinous and biceps femoris and attaches to the medial tibial condyle. And innervation, the nerve supply is tibial part of the sciatic nerve and it will act like, it will act as a flexion, create the flexion of the leg at the knee joint and extension of the thigh at the hip. Medially, it rotates the thigh at the hip joint and the leg at the knee joint. Now the ischial part of the adductor magnus. Origin, it will be the lateral part of the lower area of the ischial tuberosity and it will insert into the adductor tubercle and nerve supply will be the tibial part of the sciatic nerve. So we can see here all the muscles of the hamstring muscles. They are supplied by the tibial part of the sciatic nerve and they originate from a common place ischial tuberosity and insert around the leg bone. And we should discuss here what would happen if there would be a damage to the hamstring muscles. So we can see one of the important thing is very common thing is that is the muscular strain. Muscular strain of the hamstring muscle is, it means the excessive stretch of or the tearing of the muscular fibers and sometimes they will happen due to running, kicking sports. And what will be happen to the muscle fiber of the hamstring muscles because they rupture the surrounding blood vessels and they create a hematoma. Hematoma is contained by the overlying fascia lata. So, what we would be the treatment of this strain of the hamstring muscles? So, we can use a protocol that is called RISE. We can see here R refer to rest and I refer to ice and C refer to the compression and E refer to elevation. So, these are the common clinical symptom, clinical thing that is happened to the hamstring muscle is that is the strain. And one of the thing that happened that is the avulsion fracture of the ischial tuberosity. An avulsion fracture happen when a fragment of bone breaks away from the main body of the bone. That is the avulsion fracture. In an avulsion fracture of the ischial tuberosity, the hamstring tendons tear off a piece of the ischial tuberosity. Such an injury occurs in sports that require rapid contraction and relaxation of the muscles, such as sprinting, footing, and hurdling. So it tear off a piece of the ischial tuberosity due to all these things when it happen. So this is called avulsion fracture of the ischial tuberosity due to the rapid contraction of the hamstring muscles. So today we discussed about the hamstring muscles of the back of the thigh or the posterior compartment thigh. On next video we will discuss the another part of the back of the thigh. Thank you.